There was a night I was so sick, so exhausted that I genuinely thought something might happen to me, and I called my sister just so someone would know in case anything happened. That was the moment I couldn't lie to myself anymore. Today, I want to tell you the real story of what happened to me during my time in corporate and how it eventually led me here. Hi, Amira. Some of you know me as an executive coach, helping executives break free from survival mode so they can work less, protect their health, and be fully present with the people they love. But before any of that, I was an auditor. I just finished my master's degree in business administration and I just landed a job at KPMG, one of the big four. On paper, it was everything I was supposed to want. And it started beautifully, honestly. The first month was almost fun, meeting new people, getting to know the team, feeling like I had made it. I remember thinking this is what being a grown up, successful woman looks like. But underneath that, if I'm honest, I already knew this wasn't really mine. I told myself I would stay just for the career boost and deep down I I think I always knew I wanted something of my own one day. And I just didn't know when, I just didn't know how. And then the work actually started. And with it came this quite constant fear that if I made one mistake, I would be seen as not good enough, not a good fit. I remember the first time I really messed something up, it wasn't even that serious in hindsight. It was I think a testing error, some miscommunication, but I remember I went to the bathroom and I cried my eyes out. I really cried my eyes out because in my head, one mistake meant I was going to be abandoned, I was going to be rejected. And looking back now, I can see it so clearly. I wasn't afraid of being rejected by them. I was already rejecting myself by not letting myself feel anything, by deciding that being not perfect meant being not worthy. So I did what a lot of us do. I overcorrected. I said yes to everything, every task, every command, every question, and I stayed for the late bus home even after a 3 hour commute each way. I would stay for the latest bus. I would get home at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and I would still open my laptop because some part of me believed that if I didn't, I they would stop seeing my value or I'm not successful. And my body kept the score even when I wasn't willing to. I got sick, not catch a cold sick, genuinely, frighteningly sick. And that was the night I mentioned at the start, where I called my sister just so someone would know where I was in case something happened. I want to be really honest here. That wasn't traumatic for the sake of drama. There was that what chronic, unprocessed stress had actually built up to. It didn't happen overnight, it happened 1 years at a time. It was one ignored signal at a time, and it was also one I rest when this is over at a time. It was also one abandoning myself over and over again at a time. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, something shifted for me. It was not all at once, it was slowly, and I started with small things. A morning routine that was actually mine, a few minutes of quietness, nourishing food for me, a walk after lunch just to clear my head, nothing dramatic, just enough to remind my body it was safe to come out of this survival mode. I was so stuck in surviving and in go, 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 in rush mode that I didn't saw that. And with that, I started noticing things I couldn't unsee. How much of my stress was actually coming from me, from the belief that I had to earn my worth by being endlessly available? How much of my anxiety was about disappointing people who honestly probably wouldn't have thought twice about it? I also had people who reflected something different back to me. A colleague who reminded me, Mira, it's just work. Take care of yourself. A manager later on who showed me what it actually looks like to lead with emotional intelligence instead of fear. Those moments mattered more than I realized at the time. And here is what I know now that I didn't know then. Burnout isn't really about having too much on your plate. It's about the relationship you have with yourself underneath the workload, the fear of not being enough, the belief that rest has to be earned, the habit of saying yes before you even ask yourself what you actually want. I don't regret my time at KPMG. Genuinely, it gave me something I couldn't have gotten any other way. Total clarity on what I don't want and what actually matters to me. So, if you are in it right now, here are three things that actually helped me, and I would want you to hear right now. Firstly, notice the guilt, don't obey it. Guilt after saying no doesn't mean you did something wrong. It usually just means you're breaking an old pattern. Let the guilt be there without letting it make the decision for you. Secondly, your body is talking to you before your mind catches up. Tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, shoulder pain, getting sick more often. That is not weakness, that is information. That is data from your body. Listen earlier than I did. Last but not least, rest is not something you have to earn. This one took me the longest to believe. You don't have to justify slowing down with a good enough reason. Existing is reason enough. And I still fight with that thought a lot because sometimes I catch myself I'm still saying, I need to finish this, then I will rest. But in that moment, I have to catch myself and say, no, I'm resting now, I'm slowing down now. And that are the action that will actually lead you to a more sustainable growth, more sustainable success, and more sustainable way to live where your peace is on the top of everything, and yourself and your health and your people and your private life. I'm sharing this because I know so many of you watching right now are living some version of what I just described: high achieving, capable, quietly running on empty. I see you. I want you to know it's possible to build a life and a career that doesn't require burning yourself down first. If this resonates with you, I would love to hear which part resonate with you the most. Leave a comment down below. And if you're ready to actually do something about the stress, about the overworking, I help high performing executive get their time and energy back. I want you to comment reset and I will send you more info. And you can book a free stress audit call through the link in my bio. Thank you for being here and for letting me be honest with you today. Take care of yourself.